There isn't but one race that is critical: the human race. The only race that's critical. In-person worship. Well, you see it. You saw it. You can't unsee it. You saw what you can't unsee. Don't let it be.
But it goes on.
It's a saying we've heard all too often, but for Vicki Barnes, who lives in the Continental Colony community in southwest Atlanta, she and her neighbors apparently have to deal with it day in and day out.
We hear it constantly, to the point where we just lay in the bed and be like, okay, they out there shooting again, and we just kind of ignore it. Now, it happens, so we just ignore it.
She says, sadly, hearing gunfire comes as no surprise, but hearing a toddler was shot overnight breaks her heart.
Somebody out here just doing what they do, just cutting up and acting a fool, and a child, 2-year-old child, has been damaged from it, and it's a shame.
According to the incident report, the shooting happened just before 3 in the morning. A man had returned home after dropping off his pregnant wife at the hospital with complications. He told police he was walking ahead of his stepson to unlock the doors when he heard 3 gunshots. He grabbed the boy and realized the boy was bleeding from the right hand. For fear it would take an ambulance too long to get there, the father drove the boy to the hospital. The father told police he does not think he was targeted since he is new to the area.
I don't even understand the first words to even think about a child even being shot. Like, that really hurts your heart.
Wrong with what happened in this recent incident? Well, you can start with this question. What is a 13-year-old doing out at midnight?
Every time you turn on Fox 5, every morning there's another young person that has been killed or has been shot.
We are chronicling with added importance what police are seeing in the street. Officers just after midnight responding to northwest Atlanta. A 13-year-old boy had been walking on the sidewalk on Joe Boone Boulevard. 2 older teens pass him. Some words are exchanged. Police say moments later, the youngest pulls a weapon from his pants. One of the older kids sees it, draws also, and fires 2 shots, striking the 13-year-old in the left arm and right leg. Police say the shooter and the other older teen flee.
Police are after the crime. We've got to do prevention.
Bruce Griggs, a Metro Juvenile Probation Officer, had already planned to call me, unaware there had been another shooting. Along with his day job, you see images of a program called Operation Correct Start Street Academy, designed to pull children away from a cycle of violence.
It's a rites of passage program we call Saving Our Sons. Our goal is very simple. It's to teach young African-American boys how to stay alive and free. If you've got a young man and you see the potential, you see the anger, you see the fear, you've noticed the pain in this young man, this is a program you need to get him in. But there are other programs throughout the city. Make sure you get your child in something.
Griggs says because so many of the boys have no fathers at home, gangs can fill a void.
Black children and black teens only make up 14% of all the American children and teens, but they count for 41% of the children and teen gun deaths.
There was an additional...
What happened to Scared Straight? I think we ought to take these little tweens that think they can tote guns around down to Reidsville to the big house and stick them in there with some real criminals for 48 hours. Scare their asses straight.
Deputies say one of the victims was shot in the arm, the other in the foot. Both were taken to the hospital for treatment. There's no word on their condition. So far, deputies have not identified a suspect or a motive. Atlanta police are investigating a deadly stabbing. It happened just a couple of hours ago on Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard. Investigators say when they found the victim, he was stabbed and also had several cuts. A person of interest is in custody tonight. Police say they believe an argument led to the stabbing.
South Fulton police are trying to find the person who killed an East Point woman. This is 23-year-old Alexis Lucky. Investigators say they found her early Thursday morning in the middle of the street with a gunshot wound. It was near the intersection of Flat Shoals Road and El Cadillo Court at around 3 a.m. Lucky was taken to the hospital but did not survive. If you have any idea about what happened, call South Fulton Police or Crime Stoppers.
Atlanta police tell me some of the suspects are claiming they didn't know what was inside of those bags. So police are reminding everyone tonight to not agree to transport or pick up a bag without knowing what's inside of it.
This here was felony trafficking amounts. That's a pretty serious charge. And so, this is something that is illegal. That amount is going to be illegal in most places.
A big discovery by the Atlanta police officers with the Airport Drug Interdiction Unit. 174 pounds of marijuana stuffed inside 7 bags.
And they were in the cargo hold of the plane. And as they were being removed from the plane and sent to the baggage claim, that's where our canine unit alerted to them.
In addition to the 5 found in the cargo hold, Atlanta police say 2 of the suspects were each carrying bags with marijuana inside. The plane had come into Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport from Seattle.
There are a few different West Coast cities that we've identified or we've been able to identify as being ones that we frequently will see narcotics coming from, Seattle being one of those.
4 people were arrested and taken to Clayton County Jail, but according to authorities, some of the suspects say they didn't know what was inside of the bags.
The individuals wanted us to believe that this was not their bag, that they were either asked to pick it up for someone else or someone had packed it for them and they were not sure what was inside of it.
While this may or may not be true, Atlanta police remind everyone to never pick up a bag for someone or agree to transport it without knowing what's inside. Atlanta police say all of that marijuana has a street value of about $700,000. In Atlanta, Janice Yu, Fox 5 News.
If you've been putting
the company will no longer treat politicians differently from ordinary Facebook users. In Washington, Mallory Rivera, Fox 5 News Edge at 11.
The feds to report any ransomware investigations in an effort to keep better track of online threats. Last month, hackers shut down the Colonial Pipeline, impacting fuel prices and supply. And another cyber attack disrupted operations at the largest beef distributor in the world.
The Defense Department, certainly we are taking the entire matter seriously.
American intelligence officials look into reports from military pilots about unidentified flying objects. That there's one thing they say they now know for sure. Stay with us.
Then later, you have to hear why one entire county government has banned Coke machines altogether.